Hi, my name is Kjersti Freed. I originally grew up in Spring Grove, but now I live in Warroad, Minnesota, way up north. Today I'm going to be making Sandbakkels. I've made these since probably middle school or high school with my mom. The thing that makes them special is the tins that you bake them in, which you can then fill with all sorts of extra goodies. So if I can figure out how to be fancy, I'll put the ingredients on the screen. The recipe we're using is one that Janet Fussum had submitted to the Sons of Norway cookbook many years ago, and so it's just the one I use because Janet Fussum is the queen of everything for baking. The tins we're going to use are special Sandbakkel tins. I actually have some very antique looking ones. I think we found these at a garage sale or a Goodwill, and I have two different boxes of them. But they're both just Sandbakkel sets. This is from the Glad company in Minneapolis. And you can get these at a lot of different cooking supply stores. The nice thing about these older ones is the flutes on the sides are much narrower. And so we have found that these narrow flutes make it easier to get the Sandbakkels out of the tins later on. A lot of the ones you buy now have like a wider dip to them and they're more curved. These are more kind of angular. We are going to start with a cup of butter that I've left out to soften a little bit and cream that with a cup of powdered sugar. All right, so as you can see, my butter and powdered sugar are nice and soft and creamed together. And then we are just going to add in, the recipe just says to add in the rest of the ingredients. So that is 1 egg. I'm going to add my egg in. I'll beat in my egg a little bit. All right, next, you can either use vanilla or almond extract. You just need a half a teaspoon of flavoring. I'm gonna add a little bit of both. So I'm gonna do just slightly less than a half teaspoon of each. I know it's a little bit more flavor than it probably needs, but it'll be good. There's a little bit of vanilla. And this is just McCormick almond extract. And the last thing is 2 1/3 cups of flour. I'm going to add this in kind of slowly just so it doesn't fly everywhere. And it will start to form a pretty thick dough because we're going to be shaping this into our molds. You get this very malleable dough. And it doesn't make a ton of dough, but the tins we're going to use don't require a lot of dough in each of them, so it goes a long ways and you get a lot of cookies from the batter. We have our dough mixed. We're gonna let this chill overnight. We're gonna wrap it, put some plastic wrap on it and just throw it in the fridge. Chilling it allows it to be easier to put into the tins the next day. It makes it a little less sticky and easier to work with. But we'll be back in a little bit to bake these up. Welcome back. It is now the next day and we are ready to put our dough into tins and bake it. Oven is preheating to 375 degrees. I have all of my tins ready to go. So all we have to do is take our dough that has been chilling overnight And really, like, it just needs to chill for probably a few hours just to kind of harden up and become easier to work with. And you're gonna need some sort of spoon, or I use like a cookie scoop to get kind of a consistent amount of dough into each tin. You do not have to spray your tins down or butter them at all. You just leave them as is. Now this is probably definitely gonna be too much dough, but I'll just keep working it in and toss back in any extra dough back into my bowl. You want to make sure you have a pretty even layer throughout. If you have a couple of gaps, it's not the end of the world. And then we're just going to put them on a cookie tray and cook about, depending on how many fit on your tray, my tray will fit about probably 7, maybe 8 at a time. All right, my first tray is ready to go in the oven, and they only need to bake for about 10 minutes until they start to turn golden brown. We're gonna let them cool in the tins for probably just a couple minutes while I fill a few more, and then we'll try to tap them out. Hopefully they will tap out. All right, let's see. Yep, those are a little hot still. I'm just gonna flip them over. Oh boy. So the last thing we have to do, I have all of my finished ones back here, and I have a plate in front of me. Before serving, since these are nice little cups, we can fill them with all sorts of goodies. We're gonna do a little sampler platter. So first, we're just gonna take some plain old Cool Whip. If you would like to make, you know, homemade whipped cream, that'd be even better. I just don't have time for that. So we're gonna do a dollop of Cool Whip in a couple of these. And we're gonna do some fresh strawberries in a few of them. And I have a few blueberries. You can do a jam. You can add whatever you like to them. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed making Sandbakkels with me. Tune in to Giants tomorrow to see the next day of Yule Tree Fest, and have a Merry Christmas.